Good evening, my little creatures of the night. Mr. Wendigo back again, and boy, have I got a tale that'll leave you absolutely plundered in terror tonight. The Appalachian Mountains, Bedford County, Virginia, where the ridges run dark and the caves go deeper than any map can follow. Where men have chased legends for 200 years and died with fool's gold in their pockets. Weston Jennings is 41 years old, an archaeologist. His father spent 20 years chasing the Beale Cipher treasure and died broke, obsessed, and alone. Tonight, Weston's about to finish his father's work. He's got the maps, he's got the team, he's got the solution to a 200-year-old mystery. What he doesn't have is a way back out. This is your late night creature feature. Some doors were never meant to be opened. Before we begin, I'm curious. Where are you listening from tonight? Alone in your room? Driving through empty roads? Walking through the woods? Drop a comment and let me know. I like knowing who's out there in the dark with me. Now then, let's talk about what guards the lost things. The Beale cache. Dad spent 20 years chasing ghosts. Died, broke, obsessed, alone. Heart attack in a motel room outside Roanoke with cipher pages spread across a cigarette-burned carpet. I told myself I wouldn't be like him. Told myself I'd stick to legitimate digs, peer-reviewed research, university positions that came with health insurance. And here I am, 41 years old, standing at the mouth of a cave in Bedford County, Virginia, with 3 people who trust me, following a dead man's notes. Wes, you're doing the face again. Cam didn't look up from her equipment check. She'd been my lead geologist for 8 years, knew all my tells. What face? The I'm about to make a terrible decision, but I'm doing it anyway face. She cinched down her climbing harness. Same face you made before we went into that mine shaft in New Mexico, before the tunnel in Peru, before... Those all worked out fine. You got bit by a rattlesnake in New Mexico. Small rattlesnake. Silas laughed from where he was photographing the cave entrance. 44 years old, historian and cryptographer, and he'd been grinning like a kid at Christmas since we'd left Charlottesville 3 days ago. This is different, Cam. This is the Beale Cipher. Do you understand how massive this is? I understand we're looking for treasure that probably doesn't exist based on coded messages from 1825. But Cam was smiling. She got it. She always did. Bree was the only one not smiling. 23, graduate student from UVA, first major dig. She stood a little away from us, staring at the cave mouth like it might bite her. You good, Bree? I asked. Yeah, just it's really dark in there. That's what caves do. I kept my voice light. You did the practice run at Luray Caverns. This is the same, just smaller, and with potentially historic treasure at the end. And no handrails or gift shop. She tried for a laugh, didn't quite make it. I walked over, dropped my voice. Hey, if you want to stay topside, that's fine. No shame. Cam can. No, firm. I'm not staying behind. I just needed a second. The kid had spine. I respected that. Silas was practically vibrating. Wes, I've been thinking about the third cipher. The way the substitution pattern breaks down in the middle section. I think Beale was describing multiple chambers. Not just one vault. Let's find the first one before we get greedy. But if the pattern holds... Silas. Cam's voice had that patient mom tone. Breathe. We're not going to understand everything in the first 5 minutes. I know. I'm just excited. He pushed his glasses up. Do you understand what we're looking at? If this is real? If Beale actually buried gold and silver and jewels worth millions in today's money, and we're the ones who finally... We'd be very rich and very famous. I checked my headlamp batteries. Fresh. Good. We'd also need to document everything properly, notify the landowner, work with the state archaeologist, Probably spend 2 years in legal hell determining ownership. You're killing my vibe, Wes. Just managing expectations. Truth was, I was excited too. Dad's notes had led us here. 20 years of obsessive research, cross-referencing land surveys from the 1800s, comparing geological maps, tracking down family histories. He'd gotten close, so close. The heart attack took him 3 months before he planned to make this trip. I'd spent the last 2 years finishing his work. Silas had helped decode the final pieces, and 6 weeks ago, we'd cracked it. The Beale treasure, real, hidden in a cave system beneath Bluff Mountain, exactly where Dad said it would be. I was going to finish what he started. All right, people. I pulled on my pack. 30 pounds of rope, water, first aid, backup lights, standard protocol. We stay together. We mark our path. We don't touch anything we don't photograph first. If anyone feels unsafe, we turn back. No questions asked. Cam nodded. Silas gave a thumbs up. Bree took a breath and squared her shoulders. And remember, I added, we're not looters. We're archaeologists. This is a recovery operation, not a heist. But it's a really cool heist-adjacent operation. Silas was already moving toward the entrance. Cam caught my eye, raised an eyebrow. The "are we really doing this" look. I grinned. We're really doing this. Your dad would be proud, you know. Or he'd call me an idiot for following in his footsteps. Both can be true. The cave entrance was a crack in the hillside, narrow. We cleared away brush and loose rock yesterday, but it still looked like the mountain was trying to swallow us. Limestone walls pressed close on both sides. Water had carved this passage over thousands of years. It showed in the smooth curves, the way the rock rippled like frozen water. Our lights cut through the darkness, just 4 beams in an ocean of black. The temperature dropped fast, 55 degrees outside, maybe 50 down here. The air smelled like wet stone and old earth. Marking. Cam spray-painted an arrow on the wall, bright orange, pointing back toward daylight. She'd do one every 30 feet. Breadcrumbs. The passage opened into a larger chamber, cathedral ceiling, 20 feet up. Flowstone formations caught our lights, turned into rippling curtains of white and orange. Bree gasped. Okay, that's beautiful. Appalachian caves are underrated. Cam was already taking measurements, sketching in her notebook. This is late Ordovician limestone, 450 million years old. Silas had Dad's journal out, comparing notes to reality. The map says we follow the main passage east for 0.2 miles, then look for a side tunnel with a quartz vein. 0.2 miles underground is a long walk, Bree said quietly. Welcome to caving. I kept my voice upbeat. Just stay close and watch your footing. We moved deeper. The passage twisted, narrowed, opened again. We squeezed through a section where the walls tried to become one, then dropped into a space where our lights couldn't find the ceiling. Somewhere above us, water dripped, steady, patient. It had been dripping there for longer than humans had existed. Made you feel small. Made you feel like you didn't belong. How far? Cam asked. I checked the GPS. 0.15 miles. Getting close. Phone signal. I glanced at my screen. No bars. Dead. You? Nothing. We're under about 200 feet of rock right now. Bree shifted her weight. So if something happens... Nothing's going to happen, I said. We've got gear, training, and each other. That's all we need. Silas had stopped ahead of us. His light was fixed on the right wall. Guys? We caught up to him. There, cutting through the gray limestone, a thick vein of milky quartz, wide as my hand, running from floor to ceiling like a frozen lightning bolt. That's it. Silas's voice had gone hushed. Reverent. That's the marker. Next to the quartz vein, almost hidden in shadow, was a gap in the wall, not natural. The edges were too straight, too deliberate. Someone had widened this crack, shaped it, carved it. I moved closer, ran my light over the opening, 3 feet wide, 4 feet tall. We'd need to crouch to get through. Above the gap, barely visible under centuries of mineral deposits, were marks in the stone, not random, deliberate. I pulled out a brush, gently cleared away the buildup. Symbols emerged, geometric patterns, a circle with radiating lines, 3 wavy lines stacked on top of each other, something that might have been a crude human figure, arms spread wide. "Those aren't from the 1800s, Cam said quietly. "No," my mouth had gone dry. "They're not." "How old?" "I don't know. Pre-Columbian, maybe. Could be older." Silas was flipping through Dad's journal. He mentions the symbols, says Beale described them in a letter to Robert Morris. Proof the cave was the right one. Or proof something was here long before Beale. But I was already moving toward the gap, already making the decision. "Wes," Cam's hand on my arm, "maybe we should think about this." "Think about what?" "Symbols we can't identify. A passage that's clearly not natural. We don't know what we're walking into. That's why it's called archaeology and not tourism. That's why it's called caution and not recklessness." I looked at her. 8 years. She'd pulled me out of more bad situations than I could count, talked me down from more stupid decisions. She was my best friend on these digs, my voice of reason. But Dad had died chasing this, and I was so close. 5 minutes, I said. We look inside, document what we find, and make a decision. If it feels wrong, we back out. Deal? She held my gaze, then sighed. 5 minutes. "Bree, you good?" The kid nodded. Didn't look good, but she nodded. "Silas, you're in heaven, right? This is the greatest moment of my professional life, and possibly my personal life too." "All right then." I ducked my head, moved through the gap. The tunnel beyond was narrow, tight, the walls pressed close enough that my pack scraped stone. I had to crouch low, almost crawl. My light showed rough-hewn walls, tool marks. This hadn't been carved by water. This was human work, or something like it. The air changed, got heavier, thicker, like breathing through wet cloth. Behind me, I heard Cam's breathing, Silas muttering to himself, Bree's 2 fast breaths that meant she was working hard not to panic. "Doing good, Bree," I called back. "Almost through." Was I? I didn't know. The tunnel kept going. 20 feet, 30. Just when my knees started really complaining, the space opened. I straightened, swept my light around, and stopped breathing. The chamber was massive, 50 feet across, maybe more. The ceiling arched overhead, lost in shadow, but it wasn't natural. The walls had been carved smooth, shaped. In the center of the chamber stood 3 stone pedestals. On each pedestal sat an iron-bound chest, exactly like the Beale Cipher described. "Holy shit," Silas whispered as he emerged behind me. "Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit." Cam squeezed through next, then Bree. We stood there, 4 lights in the darkness, staring at something that shouldn't exist. "Is that," Bree's voice was tiny, "is that real?" "It's real." I moved forward slowly, carefully. "Everybody stay calm. Document everything." Silas was already photographing, flash going off in rapid bursts. Cam pulled out her notebook, started sketching the layout. I approached the first chest. Iron bands, rusted but solid. Wood that was dark with age but hadn't rotted. No lock, just a simple latch. "Should we open it?" Silas asked. "Not yet. Photos first." But God, I wanted to. My hands actually shook as I took measurements, documented the placement, the construction, every detail. When I couldn't stand it anymore, I reached for the latch. "Wait," Cam's voice cut through the chamber. "Wes, look at the corner." I turned, followed her light. In the far corner of the chamber, half hidden in shadow, was a pile of stuff. I moved closer. Backpacks, modern ones, nylon and plastic and metal frames, at least 3 of them, stacked against the wall. One was olive drab, military surplus, maybe. One had a faded REI logo. Next to them, a sleeping bag, a water bottle, a camera with a broken strap. "Why are there backpacks from the 1970s in here?" Cam said quietly. My skin went cold. I moved to the pile, played my light over it. There, underneath the modern packs, a leather satchel, cracked and dry. Next to it, a canteen, metal, old style. 19th century maybe. And scattered around all of it, bones. Not a lot. A femur, ribs, a skull, partially buried in dust and debris. "Wes," Silas's voice had lost all its enthusiasm. "We're not the first ones here." "No." My throat felt tight. "We're not." I knelt next to the pile, moved things carefully, found a leather-bound journal, smaller than Dad's. The cover was water-stained, brittle. I opened it gently. The handwriting inside was familiar. Too familiar. July 15, 1998. I found it. After 17 years, I finally found Beale's chamber. The chests are here, exactly as described. Tomorrow I'll open them and prove to everyone. The entry stopped there, mid-sentence. The next page was blank except for one line, written in shaky, desperate script. It wanted me to find this. Run. "Wes?" Com was next to me. "Whose journal is that?" I couldn't speak, just held it out to her. She took it, read the name on the inside cover. Her face went pale. "Wes, this is your Dad's." The chamber suddenly felt very small, very cold. "He was here," I said numbly. "He found it. He—" The giggling started. High-pitched, childlike, coming from somewhere deeper in the chamber, from a passage I hadn't noticed before, tucked away in the far wall, a crack in the darkness, a hole leading down. The giggling echoed, bounced off stone, multiplied, like there were dozens of children just out of sight, laughing at a joke we didn't understand. Then it stopped. The silence that followed was worse. "What the fuck was that?" Bree's voice cracked. "I don't know. I was already moving back toward the entrance tunnel, but we're leaving, now." "The chests," Silas started. "Fuck the chests. We're leaving." Nobody argued. We scrambled for the tunnel. Cam went first, moving fast despite the tight space. Bree right behind her. Silas. I grabbed Dad's journal, shoved it in my pack. The giggling started again, closer this time. I dove into the tunnel, crawled fast. My pack caught on the walls. I wrenched it forward, kept moving. Behind me, somewhere in the chamber, I heard something else, not giggling. Footsteps. Bare feet on stone. Running. I exploded out of the tunnel, into the quartz-marked passage. The others were already ahead, lights bobbing in the darkness. Go, go, go. I didn't care about protocol anymore, didn't care about careful documentation. We needed out. We ran. The passage twisted, turned. Was this the right way? We'd marked the walls, orange arrows. Where were the arrows? There, one, pointing left. We went left. The passage opened into that big chamber with the flowstone formations. Halfway back, we were halfway. Keep moving. Cam was in the lead. She knew the way. She'd mapped it. The tunnel narrowed. That tight section where the walls almost touched. We pushed through. Bree got stuck for a second, her pack wedged. She made a noise, half sob, half scream. "It's okay. You're okay." I helped pull her through. Keep going. We stumbled into a wider passage. This was it. This was the main tunnel. The entrance was ahead. Had to be. But the giggling was behind us, and it was getting closer. Faster. Silas's voice cracked. My light caught another orange arrow. Then another. We were close. So close. The air changed. Got warmer. I could smell it. Daylight smell. Green and warm and alive. There, ahead, gray instead of black, the entrance. We burst out of the cave like we'd been shot from a cannon, into blinding sunlight, into air that didn't taste like stone and fear. We didn't stop running until we reached the vehicles, threw our packs in, climbed inside. Cam started the engine before I even got my door closed. We didn't speak until we'd driven 5 miles. Finally, Bree broke the silence. Her voice was small, shaking. What was that? I don't know, I said. That couldn't have been. I don't know. Silas had Dad's journal open in his lap. He'd been reading while we drove. Now he looked up at me. His face was gray. Wes, you need to see this. He held out the journal, pointed to an entry near the end. Dad's handwriting, dated 2 days before his death. The cipher was never about treasure. It's a warning. Beale wasn't hiding gold. He was hiding something else. Something he found. Something that spoke to him in the darkness and showed him visions of wealth and glory. Something that's still down there, waiting. It feeds on greed, on obsession. It shows you what you want to see. Makes you think you've won. Then it takes you. I'm going back tomorrow to seal the entrance. If something happens to me, if you're reading this, Weston, do not follow my research. Let it die with me. The treasure isn't worth... The entry stopped, mid-sentence, just like before. Because Dad had his heart attack that night, in a motel room, alone. Or had he? I thought about the pile of packs in that chamber, the bones, the journal pages, other treasure hunters, other obsessed fools who'd solved the cipher, who'd found their way to that chamber, who'd never come back out. And I thought about Dad's last entry. It feeds on greed, on obsession. I'd been so sure I was different from him, so sure I wouldn't make his mistakes. But here I was, following his notes, dragging 3 other people into darkness, because I wanted to finish what he started, because I wanted to prove something, because I was obsessed, just like him. We're done, I said quietly. We're not going back. Calm glanced at me. Good. I mean it. We seal that entrance. We report it to the state as a hazardous cave system. We walk away. I'm not arguing, Wes. Good. I looked at the journal, at Dad's desperate handwriting, because something's down there, and it's still hungry. We made it back to Charlottesville by nightfall, dropped Bree at her apartment. She hadn't spoken the entire drive, just sat with her arms wrapped around herself, staring at nothing. You okay, kid? I asked as she got out. She looked at me. Her eyes were empty. No. Yeah, me neither. She walked away without another word. Silas got out next. He clutched the photos he'd taken like they were precious, like they were proof. We found it, he said. We actually found it. We found something, I said. I'm not sure it was treasure. But the chests. Silas, Cam's voice was firm. Let it go. He stared at us for a long moment, then nodded. Okay. Yeah, okay. But I saw it in his eyes, the same look Dad used to get, the obsession starting to take root. Silas, promise me you won't go back there. I promise. He was lying. I knew it. But what could I do? Tie him up? He walked away, disappeared into his house. Cam drove me home in silence. When we pulled up to my apartment, she didn't turn off the engine. You did the right thing, she said, walking away. Did I? What's that mean? Dad spent 20 years on this, died for it, and I just walked away after 5 minutes. Your dad died because he couldn't walk away. There's a difference. Is there? She looked at me. Yes, and you know it. I got out, grabbed my pack. Dad's journal was still inside. I could feel its weight. Get some sleep, Wes. It'll look better in the morning. Sure. But I knew it wouldn't, because as I walked up to my apartment, I could still hear it. That giggling. Faint, like it was coming from very far away, from deep underground, from a chamber full of iron-bound chests and the bones of fools. And I knew with absolute certainty that we hadn't escaped. We'd just been allowed to leave. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that chamber, the chests, the bones, Dad's handwriting getting shakier with each word. It wanted me to find this, run. At 2 in the morning, I gave up on sleep, made coffee, sat at my kitchen table with Dad's journal spread open in front of me. I read it cover to cover. 20 years of research, notes on land surveys, geological formations, historical records, interviews with locals who remembered stories their grandparents told, fragments of the Beale Cipher decoded and redecoded, maps, sketches, calculations, and woven through all of it, getting stronger toward the end, a thread of something else. Fear. The early entries were excited, enthusiastic. Dad was on the hunt, chasing a mystery. But around year 15, the tone shifted. He started writing about dreams, about hearing whispers when he was alone, about seeing things in reflections that shouldn't be there. May 3rd, 1995. Had the dream again. The one where I'm in the chamber and the chests are open. They're full of gold. So much gold I can't carry it all. But when I reach for it, my hands pass through, like it's not real, like I'm not real, and something's laughing. June 18th, 1996. I swear I saw her today, just for a second, in the rearview mirror. Sarah, my wife, dead 6 years now. She was smiling at me. When I turned around, nothing, but I heard her voice. Come find me, Thomas. Come find me in the dark. October 2nd, 1997. I'm close. So close I can feel it pulling at me, like a fish on a line. But which of us is the fish? The entries got stranger, more fragmented. Dad's handwriting deteriorated. Some pages were just single words repeated over and over. Deeper, 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 deeper. Then, dated July 15th, 1998, 2 days before his heart attack, the entry I'd already read, the warning. It feeds on greed, on obsession. I closed the journal, picked up my phone. 3 a.m., too early to call anyone. But my fingers found Cam's number anyway. She answered on the second ring. Can't sleep either. How'd you know? Because I've been lying here staring at the ceiling for 4 hours thinking about what we saw. Silence stretched between us. Then she said, Your dad knew something was wrong, and he went back anyway. Yeah. You're not him, Wes. Aren't I? I followed his notes. Dragged you all down there. Put everyone in danger because I stopped. Swallowed, because I wanted to prove I was smarter than him, that I could succeed where he failed. That's not obsession. That's closure. Is there a difference? Yes, because you walked away. He didn't. But Cam, go to bed, Wes. We'll figure this out in the morning. She hung up. I sat there with Dad's journal, with the weight of 20 years of obsession in my hands. And I thought about the giggling. My phone rang at 7 a.m. Bree's number. I grabbed it. Hey, you okay? Dr. Jennings, not Bree's voice. Older, female, shaking. This is Bree's roommate, Allison. Something's wrong. Bree's been in her room since yesterday and she won't come out and she won't stop talking to herself and I don't know what to do. Slow down. What do you mean talking to herself? She keeps saying they're in the walls, over and over, and she's laughing. Dr. Jennings, it doesn't sound like her. It sounds wrong. My blood went cold. I'm on my way. I was dressed and out the door in 3 minutes. Called Cam while I drove. Something's wrong with Bree. What do you mean wrong? Her roommate says she won't come out. Says she's hearing things. Wes, it's probably just stress. Yesterday was traumatic. Cam, she's hearing them in the walls. Silence. Then, I'm coming with you. We met at Bree's apartment 15 minutes later. The roommate, Allison, young, terrified, let us in immediately. She's in there. She pointed to a closed door. She won't let me in. Pushed a dresser in front of it. I knocked. Bree? It's Dr. Jennings. Can you open the door? No response. Then, faintly, I heard it. Giggling. Bree, I need you to talk to me. They're in the walls, Dr. Jennings. Her voice was sing-song. Childlike. In the walls and under the floor and behind the mirrors. They've been here the whole time, waiting. Bree, there's nothing in the walls. You're safe. You're home. Home? She laughed, high-pitched. Wrong. This isn't home. Home is down in the dark where the gold is, where the bones are, where we all go eventually. Bree, open the door. Can't. They won't let me. They say I have to go back, have to finish what we started, have to open the chests. Cam pushed past me, tried the door, locked. Bree, honey, we're worried about you. Please let us in. You should be worried about yourselves. That laugh again. It knows where you are now. It followed us out. In our heads, in our dreams. You'll go back. Everyone goes back eventually. We're breaking down this door, I told Allison. She nodded, pale. It took 3 hits. The wood around the lock splintered. The door swung open, dresser scraping across the floor. Bree was sitting cross-legged in the corner of her room, facing the wall. Her hair hung limp around her face. She was still wearing yesterday's clothes, covered in cave dirt. Bree? She didn't turn around, just kept staring at the wall, at nothing. They showed me, she whispered. In the dark, they showed me what's in the chests. What's in the chests, Bree? Us. She turned then. Her face was slack, empty. All of us. Every version that could have been. Every choice we didn't make. Every life we didn't live. It's all there in the dark, waiting. And if we open the chests, we can have it. We can have everything. There's no treasure, Bree. It was a trap. Of course it was a trap. She smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. But the bait was real. The bait is always real. That's how you know it's working. Cam knelt down next to her. Bree, I need you to listen to me. You're in shock. What happened yesterday was traumatic, but you're safe now. You're home. You don't need to go back. But I want to. Bree's eyes focused on Cam. For the first time, there was something real in them. Fear. That's the worst part, Dr. Osei. I want to go back. I can hear it calling, and it sounds like my mother, and I miss her so much. Her mother had died when Bree was 16. Cancer. She'd mentioned it once during the drive to Virginia. Your mother isn't in that cave, I said gently. I know. Tears started down Bree's face. I know she's not, but it sounds just like her, and I'm so tired of missing her. And it promises I can see her again if I just go back, if I just open the chests. She grabbed Cam's hand, squeezed it hard. Don't let me go back, please. I'll want to, but don't let me. We won't, Cam promised. I swear. Good. Bree's eyes started to unfocus again, because it's really persuasive, and I'm not strong enough to... She stopped, tilted her head, like she was listening to something we couldn't hear. Oh, she said softly. "Oh, no." "What, Bree? What is it?" Silas went back. We called Silas 16 times. No answer. We drove to his house, knocked, banged, no response. I found a spare key under the third flower pot. We let ourselves in. The house was empty, but his research was everywhere, spread across every surface. Photos from yesterday printed out and pinned to the walls. Maps, notes, the Beale Cipher pages highlighted and annotated. And on his desk, a note, 4 words in shaky handwriting. I have to know. Fuck. I grabbed my phone, called the local sheriff's office. "Bedford County Sheriff, how can I help you?" "I need to report a missing person. Silas Fenton, 44 years old, possibly heading to a cave system near Bluff Mountain." "Sir, is this an emergency?" "Yes, he's not in his right mind. He's going into a dangerous cave system alone." "Has he been missing 24 hours?" "No, but then I can't file a missing persons report. If he's not back in 24 hours, call us then." "You don't understand. There's something in that cave. Something wrong." "Sir, I'm going to need you to calm down." I hung up, looked at Cam. "We have to go get him." "Wes, we don't even know for sure that's where he went." "Where else would he go? He's obsessed. He has to know what's in the chests. He won't stop until he opens them." "Then he's already dead." The words hung in the air between us. "I can't just leave him there," I said. "You can. You should. We all should." Cam's voice was hard. "Whatever's in that cave, it wants us back. That's why Bree's hearing things. That's why Silas left. It's in our heads now. And if we go back, what? It wins? It gets to keep Silas? If we go back, it gets all of us." "So we just abandon him?" "Yes." Cam grabbed my shoulders. "Yes, Wes, because he made his choice, and we need to make ours. We need to stay the fuck away from that cave and hope whatever's down there gets bored and finds new victims." "I can't do that." "Yes, you can. You have to. My dad died down there, Cam, or because of there, and now Silas. Your dad made his choice too. Everyone who goes into that cave makes a choice, and they all choose wrong." She was right. I knew she was right. But I was already grabbing my gear. "I'm going." "Wes, you don't have to come, but I'm going." Cam stared at me for a long moment. Then she closed her eyes. "You're just like him. You know that? Just like your dad." "I know." "Fuck." She grabbed her pack. "Fine, but we're doing this smart. We go in, we find Silas, we drag his stupid ass out, and we don't touch anything. We don't open anything. We don't even look at those chests. Agreed?" "Agreed." "And Wes?" She met my eyes. "If we don't find him in 30 minutes, we leave. No arguments? No, just 5 more minutes. 30 minutes and we're gone. Deal?" I nodded. "Say it." "Deal. 30 minutes." "Good." She headed for the door. "Let's go save a goddamn idiot." We made the drive in silence. The cave entrance looked different in afternoon light, less like an adventure and more like a wound in the hillside, a mouth waiting to swallow us. Cam checked her watch. 2 p.m. We're out by 2:30. No exceptions. No exceptions. We pulled on our gear, checked our lights. I had Dad's journal in my pack. Don't know why I brought it. Maybe I thought it would help. Maybe I just couldn't leave it behind. "Ready?" Cam asked. "No." "Good. Me neither." She started toward the entrance. "Let's get this over with." The cave swallowed us. It felt different this time. The wall seemed closer, the air heavier. My light cut through the darkness, but it felt like the darkness was pushing back, like it resented the intrusion. "Orange arrows," Cam said, pointing. "We follow them. We stay on the path." We moved fast, didn't stop to admire the formations, didn't pause to take measurements, Just follow the orange breadcrumbs deeper into the mountain. The tight squeeze, the cathedral chamber, the passage that twisted and turned. And there, ahead, the quartz vein, the carved symbols, the entrance to the inner chamber. "Silas," I called. My voice echoed. Came back wrong, distorted. No answer. "We go in," Cam said. "Check the chamber. If he's not there, we leave. Deal?" "Deal." I ducked into the tunnel, crawled through, the walls pressed close, too close. I could feel the weight of the mountain above me, millions of tons of rock. One shift, one crack, and we'd be buried forever. Then the tunnel opened. The chamber. It looked the same as yesterday, same stone pedestals, same 3 chests. But something was different, wrong. The pile of backpacks and bones had been disturbed, scattered, like someone had torn through it looking for something. And in the center of the chamber, kneeling in front of the first chest, was Silas. "Silas!" I ran to him. "Jesus Christ, what are you doing here?" He looked up at me. His face was streaked with dirt and tears. His eyes were wild. "I had to know, Wes. I had to see." "See what?" "What's inside." He turned back to the chest. His hands were on the latch. "What Beale found. What your father found. What's been waiting all this time." "Silas, don't." He opened it. The lid swung back with a creak of rusted hinges. Inside was gold. So much gold. Coins, bars, jewelry. It gleamed in our headlamps, caught the light and threw it back in dazzling arrays. More wealth than I'd seen in my life, more than I could imagine. "Oh my God," Cam whispered. Silas was laughing, crying. "It's real. It's all real. Beale wasn't lying. The treasure exists. We found it. We actually found it." He reached into the chest, grabbed a handful of coins, let them pour through his fingers. "We're rich, Wes. We're all rich. This is everything. This is..." He stopped. His face went slack. "Silas?" He was staring at the coins in his hand, staring like they turned into something else, something he couldn't understand. "Silas, what's wrong?" He opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. "They're not real." "What?" He held up a coin. In the beam of my light, I saw it clearly. It was gold, definitely gold, but the surface was wrong, too smooth, too perfect, and the stamping there was no stamping, no date, no mint mark, no design, just blank gold. Like someone's idea of what a gold coin should look like, but not the real thing. "It's not real," Silas said again. His voice was hollow. "None of it is real." I moved closer, looked into the chest. Now that I was paying attention, I could see it. The bars were too uniform. The jewelry was generic, no craftsmanship. It was all just shapes, golden shapes, approximations. What the hell? Cam knelt next to the chest, picked up a necklace. The chain broke in her hands like it was made of sand. "This isn't treasure. This is..." "A lure," I finished. "It's bait." Silas started laughing, high and thin and wrong. "We came all this way. My entire career, your father's entire life, all for fake gold, for a trick. Silas, we need to leave. Now." "But the other chests," he lurched toward the second pedestal. "Maybe the other chests are real. Maybe..." "Silas, stop." He didn't stop. He grabbed the second chest, threw open the lid. More gold, same as the first, blank coins and generic bars and jewelry that crumbled at a touch. "No, no, no, no." Silas moved to the third chest. This one has to be." He opened it. Not gold. Bones. Human bones. Dozens of them. Femurs and ribs and skulls. Some old, yellowed with age, some newer, still with scraps of tissue clinging to them, all jumbled together like they'd been thrown in carelessly, discarded. And on top of the bones, a piece of paper, folded once. Silas picked it up, unfolded it with shaking hands. "What does it say?" Cam whispered. Silas's lips moved as he read. Then he started laughing again, that high, thin sound that didn't belong to him anymore. "Silas, what does it say?" He held it out to me. 3 words, written in a careful, old-fashioned script. "Thank you for coming." The giggling started. Not from the deeper passage this time, from everywhere, all around us, above us, below us, like the chamber itself was laughing. "We need to go." Cam grabbed Silas's arm. "Right now." But Silas had gone limp, boneless. He stared at the chest full of bones with empty eyes. "They're all here," he whispered. "Everyone who ever found this place. Everyone who solved the cipher. They all came down here and they never left, and we're going to join them. We're going to be in the chest with them." "No, we're not. Get up." "I can't." "Yes, you can. Silas, get up." I grabbed his other arm. Cam and I hauled him to his feet. He didn't resist, but he didn't help either. Just hung between us like a puppet with cut strings. The giggling got louder. "Move!" I shoved Silas toward the tunnel. "Cam, go!" She went. Silas stumbled after her. I followed, casting one last look back at the chamber. All 3 chests were open now. The fake gold gleamed. The bones stared. And in the deeper passage, in that crack that led further down, I saw movement. Something pale, something that moved wrong, joints bending in directions they shouldn't, too many limbs, too many faces. It was smiling. I ran, through the tunnel, scraping my pack, not caring, just moving. Cam was ahead, Silas between us. The tunnel seemed longer than before, tighter, like it was trying to keep us. Then we were through, into the main chamber. "Which way?" Silas looked around wildly. "Which way is out?" "Follow the arrows," Cam pointed, orange paint on the wall, pointing back the way we came. We ran. Behind us, I heard footsteps. Not human footsteps. Too many feet, moving too fast. And voices, whispered voices, some I recognized. Dad's voice, "Come back, Weston. Finish what I started." Mom's voice, "Don't leave me here alone." Danny's voice, my college roommate who died in a car crash 12 years ago. "It's not so bad down here. You get used to it." "Don't listen," Cam shouted. "It's not real." But Silas had stopped, turned around, staring back into the darkness. "Sarah," he whispered. "Is that you?" "Who's Sarah?" I grabbed his arm. "My wife. She died 5 years ago. Breast cancer." Tears streamed down his face. "Sarah, I can hear you. Where are you?" "Silas, it's not her. It's the thing. It's trying to—" "I know it's her." He wrenched away from me. "I know my own wife's voice." "Silas, no." He ran, back toward the deeper darkness, toward the chamber, toward the thing that was hunting us. "Silas," Cam screamed. We heard him for a few seconds, his footsteps, his breathing, then a wet sound, a crack, a scream that cut off too quickly. Then nothing. Cam grabbed my hand. "We can't help him. We have to go." "But—" "Now, Wes." We ran. The passage blurred around us, orange arrows flashing past. My lungs burned. My legs screamed. Didn't matter. Had to keep moving. Behind us, the footsteps continued, patient, steady, not hurrying. It didn't need to hurry. It knew these tunnels, had been here longer than the tunnels existed. We burst into the cathedral chamber, that beautiful space with the flowstone formations. Almost there. The entrance was close. But when we reached the far side, the passage wasn't there. Just wall. Solid limestone wall where the exit tunnel should be. What the fuck? Cam ran her hands over the stone. This is wrong. The passage was here. It was right here. It's showing us what it wants us to see. I spun around, looking for the real exit. Had to be here somewhere. Don't trust what you're seeing. Feel for airflow. Moving air means exit. Cam closed her eyes, held up her hand. There. I feel it. This way. She moved left, toward what looked like solid wall, but when I got close, I could see the crack. Narrow, hidden in shadow, the real passage. We squeezed through. The footsteps were in the chamber now, close. Go, go, go. The passage opened, narrowed, twisted, more arrows, following the route back to daylight, back to the world. I could feel it, getting closer, the air changing, getting warmer, fresher. There, ahead, that gray glow, the entrance. We ran harder. My lungs felt like they were tearing. Didn't care. Almost there. Almost. Cam screamed. I turned. She'd fallen. Something had grabbed her ankle. I couldn't see what. Just a hand. Pale. Too long. Too many joints. Cam. She kicked. Hard. The thing let go. She scrambled forward. I grabbed her arm, hauled her to her feet. Together we ran those last 30 feet. Exploded into daylight. Into air that didn't taste like death. We didn't stop. We ran to the truck, threw ourselves inside. Cam started the engine with shaking hands. As we pulled away, I looked back at the cave entrance. Something stood there, in the shadows just inside, too tall, too thin, watching us leave with eyes that gleamed in the darkness. It waved. Then the darkness swallowed it. We drove for an hour before either of us spoke. Cam broke the silence. Her voice was flat, dead. Silas is gone. Yeah. We left him there. We didn't have a choice. I know. She wiped her face. Her hand came away wet. Doesn't make it easier. I didn't have anything to say to that, so I just sat there, watching Virginia roll past the windows, trying not to think about the sounds Silas made when he died. Trying not to think about what was still in that cave. Waiting. My phone buzzed. A text from Bree's roommate. She's asking for you. Says she needs to talk to you. Says it's important. Bree wants to see us, I told Cam. Of course she does. Cam's laugh was bitter, because this day wasn't fucked up enough already. We made a detour to Bree's apartment. The roommate Allison met us at the door. She looked worse than this morning, pale, exhausted. She won't eat, won't sleep, just sits there talking to herself. Allison's voice cracked. I think I need to call her parents, or a hospital, or... Let us talk to her first, I said. Bree was still in her room, still sitting in the corner, but she'd moved. Now she faced the window, staring out at the late afternoon sun. Dr. Jennings. She didn't turn around. Did you find him? Silas? I moved closer. Yeah, we found him. And he didn't make it. I know. She tilted her head. I felt it. When it happened, like something snapped, like a string breaking. Cam knelt beside her. Bree, we need to get you help. Real help. A doctor. Won't do any good. Bree finally looked at us. Her eyes were clearer than this morning, sharper. But something in them was fundamentally wrong. You know that, right? A doctor can't fix what's happening to me, to us. What do you mean, us? We all went into the dark. We all breathed that air. We all heard it laughing. And now it's in us, part of us. It'll never let go. That's not, I started. Look at yourself, Dr. Jennings. She pointed at a mirror on the wall. Really, look. I turned, saw my reflection in the glass. At first, nothing seemed wrong, just me, dirty, exhausted, covered in cave dust. Then I blinked. For just a second, less than a second, my reflection didn't blink with me. It smiled. I stumbled back. What the fuck? It's in us now, Bree said quietly. In our heads, behind our eyes, wearing us like clothes. We brought it out with us. No, that's not possible. You saw the chests, didn't you? The fake gold, the bones. Bree's voice was conversational. Calm, too calm. It doesn't need treasure. It is the treasure. The idea of it, the promise, that's what lures people in. And once you've seen it, once you've touched it, once you've wanted it, even for a second, it has you. Cam was backing toward the door. Wes, we need to leave. She's right, Bree agreed. You should go. Get as far away from me as possible. I'm further along than you are. Another day or two and I'll be gone completely. Then it'll be just the thing wearing my face. Bree. My mother used to tell me stories about the woods. Bree looked back out the window. About how sometimes things live in the dark places. Old things. Things that remember when humans were prey. She said the smart animals know to stay away from certain caves, certain holes in the ground, because some darkness isn't empty. She pressed her palm against the glass. She was right, and now I'm going back. Not today, not tomorrow, but soon. I'll wait until you're not watching, until the rational part of me is too small to fight. And I'll go back to that chamber, and I'll walk into the deeper passage, into the crack that leads down. Bree, you can fight this. No, Dr. Jennings, I can't. She finally turned to face us fully. But maybe you can. You're not as far gone. Not yet. So here's what you do. You take your father's journal, and you burn it. Every page. Don't read it again. Don't study it. Don't try to figure out what happened to him. Just burn it and forget. I can't. Yes, you can. Because if you don't, you'll end up like him, like me, like Silas. You'll go back. Everyone goes back eventually. The pull is too strong. Cam grabbed my arm. Wes, we're leaving. Listen to her, Bree said. She's the smart one. She always was. As we reached the door, Bree called out one last time. Dr. Jennings, when you dream tonight, and you will dream, don't follow the voices. No matter how much they sound like people you love. They're not your people anymore. They belong to it now. We went to Cam's apartment. I couldn't face going home. Couldn't face being alone. Cam made tea. Neither of us drank it. We just sat on her couch, staring at nothing, as the sun set and the room darkened around us. We should call the police, Cam said finally. Report Silas missing. They'll send a search team into the cave. And they'll die. I rubbed my face. Or worse, they'll bring it back out with them, spread it further. So what do we do? I don't know. Dad's journal sat on the coffee table between us. I'd pulled it out without thinking. Now it seemed to fill the room, demanding attention. Bree said to burn it, Cam reminded me. I know. So burn it. It's all I have left of him. Wes. 20 years of research, Cam. His whole life is in this journal. His thoughts, his discoveries, his warnings. I picked it up. Felt the weight. If I burn it, it's like he died for nothing. He died because he couldn't let go. Don't make the same mistake. She was right. I knew she was right. But I couldn't do it. Couldn't just destroy the last piece of my father, even if that piece was poisoned. I need some air, I said. Stood up. I'll be back. Wes. But I was already out the door, walking down the street. No destination, just moving. The night was clear, cold, stars overhead, normal world, normal night. Except it wasn't, not anymore. Because now when I walked past windows, I saw things in the reflections that weren't there when I turned around. Shapes that moved wrong, faces that smiled with too many teeth. And I heard it, faint, distant, but there, giggling. I walked faster, tried to outrun it, but it followed, in every window, every puddle, every piece of glass. My phone rang. Cam. Where are you? Just walking. I'm fine. You're not fine. None of us are fine. Come back. In a minute. Wes, don't do anything stupid. I won't. I hung up. Stood there on the empty street, alone with the reflections and the giggling and the weight of Dad's journal in my pocket. Bree was right. I could feel it. The pull. The need to go back. To understand. To see what was in that deeper passage. What Silas saw before he died. What Dad saw before his heart gave out. It was so strong. Like a fish on a line. That's what Dad wrote, and I finally understood what he meant. I wasn't hunting the mystery. It was hunting me. Always had been. I made it back to Cam's apartment, sat on her couch, drank the cold tea. We need a plan, she said. For what? For staying alive. For not ending up like Silas, or Bree, or your dad. I'm open to suggestions. We leave Virginia. We leave tonight. We drive somewhere far away and we don't come back. You think distance will help? I think it can't hurt. And what about Bree? What about when she goes back? We can't save her, Wes. We can barely save ourselves. She was right again, but that didn't make it easier. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. I opened it. A photo, dark, grainy, but I could make it out. The cave entrance, nighttime, and standing in front of it, illuminated by a headlamp, was Bree. She was smiling. Below the photo, a message. I'm sorry. I tried to fight it. I really did. But it's so loud now and I'm so tired. Tell my parents I love them. Tell them it wasn't their fault. Tell them I just needed to see what was down there one more time. It promises it won't hurt. I hope it's not lying. B. Fuck. I showed Cam the phone. Her face went pale. When was this sent? I checked the timestamp. 10 minutes ago. She's already inside. Yeah. We can. I know. We sat there in silence, waiting for something. Another message maybe. Proof that Bree had made it, or proof that she hadn't. The phone stayed dark. An hour passed, then 2. Around midnight, Cam spoke. Her voice was barely a whisper. Wes, look at the window. I turned. In the glass, illuminated by streetlight, was a reflection, not of us, not of the room. A cave, dark, deep, and walking toward us through the darkness, a figure, small, female, Bree. But not Bree. The face was hers, the body was hers, but the way it moved, joints bending wrong, spine twisting, arms too long that wasn't human, wasn't anything that should exist. It reached the surface of the glass, pressed its face against it, smiled with Bree's mouth but too many teeth. Then it spoke. The voice came from everywhere, from the walls, from the air itself. Thank you for showing her the way. The reflection vanished. The room was just a room again. But I knew we both knew that Bree was gone, completely. Whatever had been left of her was consumed now, digested, replaced. And it was still hungry. We didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that chamber, the chests, the bones, the deeper passage leading down into darkness. And I heard Dad's voice, clear as day, like he was sitting right next to me. Come finish what I started, Weston. Come see what I found. It's beautiful down here, quiet, no more questions, no more doubt. just the dark and the knowing and the endless, endless hunger. I opened my eyes. Dad wasn't there. Of course he wasn't. But his journal was still on the coffee table, still demanding to be read, to be understood, to be followed. Burn it, Bree had said. But I couldn't. Some part of me, maybe the part that was already changing, already being replaced, needed to keep it, needed to have that connection to the cave, to the thing inside, to the treasure that wasn't treasure. Cam was awake too, staring at the ceiling. "We should go to the police," she said. "Tell them everything. About Silas, about Bree, about what's in that cave. They won't believe us." "Probably not, but we have to try. And when they send officers into the cave, when those officers don't come back, when whatever's down there gets stronger because we led more people to it?" She didn't answer, because there was no good answer. We were fucked, all of us who'd gone into that darkness, all of us who'd seen what was waiting. We'd carried it out with us, in our heads, in our reflections, in our dreams, and there was no escaping it. 3 days later, I got the call. Bree's roommate, sobbing, barely coherent. They found her, in the cave. She Dr. Jennings. She. What happened? They said she fell from some kind of ledge, deep in the cave system. They said it was instant, that she didn't suffer. They were lying, or they'd been lied to, or they'd seen things they couldn't explain and their brains had rewritten the memory into something bearable. But I knew the truth. Bree hadn't fallen. She'd walked into that deeper passage, into the crack that led down, and something down there had welcomed her, had taken her, had added her bones to the collection in the third chest, just like it would eventually take all of us. "I'm sorry," I told Allison. "I'm so sorry." I hung up. Looked at Cam. She'd heard the whole thing. Her face was gray. "We need to leave," she said. "Tonight, we pack up everything, and we drive, and we don't stop until we're somewhere far away. It won't matter." "Yes, it will. It has to." "Cam, don't," her voice broke. "Don't tell me we're already dead. Don't tell me there's no point. I need to believe we can get away from this. I need to believe distance will help, so let me have that, okay? Just let me have that lie." So I nodded. "Okay, we'll leave tonight." We packed, not much, just essentials, left most of our research behind. Didn't matter anyway. Our careers were over. The dig that killed 2 people, the disaster, the failure. We loaded the truck, got in. Cam started the engine. "Where are we going?" she asked. "West, as far west as we can get." "Sounds good." We drove out of Charlottesville, out of Virginia, into the night. And the whole time, I felt it, the pull, getting stronger the further we got, like a rubber band stretched to breaking, like gravity itself was trying to drag me back. I looked in the side mirror, saw my reflection. It was smiling. We made it to Colorado before I couldn't take it anymore. 2 weeks of driving, 2 weeks of cheap motels and gas station coffee and trying not to look at reflections, 2 weeks of pretending we could outrun something that lived in our heads. Cam was getting worse. I could see it. The way she'd stop mid-sentence and stare at nothing, the way she'd flinch at sounds that weren't there, the way she'd wake up screaming about being buried alive. I wasn't much better. The dreams were constant now. Every night, the same dream. I'm in the chamber. The chests are open, and Dad is there, standing in the deeper passage, beckoning me forward. "Just a little further, Weston. Just come see. It's so beautiful down here." And every night, I walk toward him, get closer to that crack in the stone, closer to whatever's waiting below. And every night, I wake up before I reach it, heart hammering, drenched in sweat, knowing that one night I won't wake up, one night I'll walk all the way down. We were in a motel outside Boulder when Cam finally broke. "I can't do this anymore." I looked up from Dad's journal. I'd been reading it again. Couldn't help myself. Can't do what? This. Running. Pretending. She sat on the edge of the bed. Held her head in her hands. It's not getting better, Wes. It's getting worse. Every day it's louder. Every day it's harder to remember why we left. We left because we wanted to live. Do we, though? She looked at me. Her eyes were hollow. Because I'm starting to think we died in that cave, all of us, and this is just the long walk to realizing it. Cam. I see her, Wes, every time I close my eyes. Bree, standing at the bottom of some pit, looking up at me, smiling. And she says, it's not so bad down here. Come see, and I want to. God help me, I want to. We just need more time, more distance. There isn't enough distance in the world. She stood up, walked to the window. You know what I realized? It doesn't matter where we go, because we're carrying it with us. In here, she tapped her temple. It's not in Virginia anymore. It's in us, and it's spreading. And we find a way to stop it. How? I don't know. Research, medical help, something. You think a doctor can cure this? She laughed. Bitter. What are we going to tell them? Hey, Doc, we went into a cave and now an ancient evil is eating our minds from the inside. They'll put us in a psych ward. Then maybe that's where we need to be. She turned to face me. You're not hearing me, Wes. There's no cure for this. No treatment. No escape. There's only one way this ends. Don't say that. We go back, or we die trying not to. Those are the only options. There has to be another way. Show me. She spread her hands. Show me the third option, because I've been looking for 2 weeks and I can't find it. I didn't have an answer, because she was right. Deep down, I knew she was right. We were dying, slowly, inevitably. The only question was how long we could fight it. That night, I had the dream again, but this time was different. This time, when Dad beckoned me into the deeper passage, I followed. Down through twisting corridors of stone, down through spaces that got tighter and tighter until I had to squeeze through gaps barely wider than my body. Down to a place where the rock changed, got older, darker, carved with symbols I couldn't read but somehow understood. And at the bottom, a chamber, vast, cathedral-sized, with walls that pulsed like they were breathing. In the center, a pit, no bottom, just endless black. And gathered around the pit, hundreds of people, thousands, standing silent, staring down into the darkness, their faces slack, empty. They'd been there for years, decades, centuries. All the people who'd ever found the chamber, all the treasure hunters and archaeologists and explorers, everyone who'd seen the fake gold and felt the pull. They were all here, waiting. Dad stood at the edge of the pit. He looked at me, smiled. Welcome home, son. This isn't home. Isn't it? He gestured at the crowd. Everyone finds their way here eventually. Some take longer than others, but they all come. You will too. I'm still fighting. Why? He tilted his head. The gesture was wrong. Inhuman. Fighting is exhausting. Fighting is pain. Why not just accept it? Let go. Join us. It's peaceful down here. No more questions. No more fear. Just the dark and the knowing and the endless, endless hunger. What are you? You know what I am. What we all are. What you're becoming. He took a step closer. The treasure was never gold, Weston. The treasure is us, our obsession, our greed, our need to know. That's what it feeds on. That's what keeps it alive. What is it? Dad smiled. His teeth were too sharp. Something older than names, older than language. It was here before the first humans crawled into the first caves. and it will be here long after the last human dies in the dark. It doesn't have wants or needs or thoughts the way we do. It just is, and it's hungry, always hungry. For what? For minds, for that spark that makes us human, that need to understand, to categorize, to solve puzzles. It consumes that spark, feeds on it, and when it's done, it leaves behind something that looks human but isn't, something that can walk and talk and smile, but inside, he tapped his chest. Where his heart should be, inside is just the dark and the hunger. I wanted to run, wanted to wake up, but I couldn't move, couldn't look away. How many? I asked. How many what? How many people has it taken? Dad laughed. The sound echoed through the chamber. All of them, eventually. Everyone who ever went looking for the treasure. Beale and his party. The people who spent generations trying to decode the cipher. The modern hunters with their ground-penetrating radar and their satellite maps. Your mother. Mom, my voice cracked. Mom never went into the cave. Didn't she? Dad's smile widened. She knew what I was doing, knew I was obsessed, knew I was dying for it, and she kept my notes, kept my research, made sure you had it after I died. Why do you think she did that? She wanted me to finish her work. She wanted you to feed it, just like I did, just like everyone does. We all become recruiters eventually, bringing fresh minds to the darkness, fresh sparks to consume. You're lying. Am I? He gestured around the chamber. Ask them. Ask any of them. They all brought someone. Wife, husband, child, friend, student. We can't help it. The thing in the pit makes sure of that. It puts the need in us, the compulsion. Bring more. Bring others. Feed the hunger. I looked at the crowd, at all those empty faces, and I saw people I recognized, historians I'd read about, archaeologists who'd gone missing on digs, students from my university who'd disappeared on field studies. All here, all consumed, all waiting for their turn to recruit. No, I stepped back. No, I won't do this. I won't bring anyone else. You already have. Dad pointed past me. Look. I turned. Cam stood at the entrance to the chamber, staring down at the pit. Her face was slack, empty. She'd been here for hours, days, years. She was already gone. No! I ran to her, grabbed her shoulders. Cam, wake up! Snap out of it! But when she looked at me, there was nothing behind her eyes. Just darkness. Just hunger. It's not so bad down here, she said in a voice that wasn't hers. Come see. I screamed and woke up. The motel room was dark, silent. I sat up, gasping, drenched in sweat. Just a dream, just another nightmare. But when I looked at the other bed, Cam wasn't there. Cam? No answer. I turned on the light. Her bed was empty. Her bag was gone. The door to the room stood open. Night air poured in. On the nightstand, a note, her handwriting. I'm sorry, Wes. I can't fight it anymore. It's too loud, too strong. I'm going back. Don't follow me. Don't try to save me. You can't. Nobody can. Burn your father's journal. Forget about the cave. Live whatever life you have left. That's the only way. I'm sorry I wasn't strong enough. Kay. I grabbed my phone, called her, straight to voicemail. Checked the time, 3 a.m. She'd been gone for hours. Could be anywhere by now. Probably already on a plane back to Virginia, back to Bedford County, back to the cave. I should let her go. Should burn the journal like she said. Should try to salvage whatever was left of my life. But I couldn't. Because if Cam went into that cave, she'd die. Or worse, she'd become another empty face in the crowd, another recruiter, another extension of the thing in the pit. And I couldn't let that happen. I grabbed Dad's journal, my gear, my keys, and I started driving east. I drove for 36 hours straight, stopped only for gas and coffee, didn't sleep, couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that pit, that crowd, Cam's empty face. I called her phone every hour, no answer. Left voicemails that got more desperate each time. Cam, please, turn around. Don't do this. Cam, I'm coming to get you. Just wait for me. Don't go in alone. Cam, please, please answer. I can't lose you too. Nothing, just voicemail, just silence. I hit Virginia on the second night, drove straight to Bedford County, to the mountain, to the cave entrance that I'd sworn I'd never see again. Cam's rental car was parked at the trailhead. I got out. The night was cold, clear, stars overhead, same stars that had been there 2 weeks ago, same mountain, same cave mouth waiting in the darkness. But I was different now, hollowed out, changed, ready. I pulled on my gear, grabbed a headlamp. Dad's journal went in my pack. I couldn't leave it behind. Not now. It was the only thing that felt real anymore. The cave swallowed me. I didn't mark my path this time. Didn't need to. I knew the way. Could feel it pulling me, down and deeper, through passages that felt like home, like I'd been walking them all my life. The quartz vein, the carved symbols, the tunnel to the inner chamber. I crawled through, no hesitation, no fear, just certainty. The chamber opened before me. The chests were still there, still open. The fake gold gleamed, the bones stared. And kneeling in front of the third chest, exactly where Silas had been, was Cam. Cam! She turned. Her face was streaked with tears, but her eyes were still hers, still aware. Wes, her voice was small, broken. Why did you come? To bring you back. You can't. I'm too far gone. I can feel it, Wes, inside my head, eating away at everything I am, everything I was. Another few hours and I'll be empty, just a shell, just another thing it uses. Then we leave now, right now, before that happens. I can't. She looked back at the chest, at the bones. It won't let me. Every time I try to stand, my legs won't work. Every time I try to crawl toward the exit, I end up crawling deeper instead. It has me, Wes, completely. I moved closer, knelt beside her. Then I'll carry you. You can't carry me and climb. You know that. Then I'll drag you. I don't care. I'm not leaving without you. She smiled, sad, exhausted. You're just like your dad, too stubborn to know when to quit. Yeah, I grabbed her hand. Come on, get up. She tried, pushed against the ground. Her legs shook, gave out. She collapsed. I can't. It won't let me. Yes, you can. Fight it, Cam. You're the strongest person I know. You've pulled me out of worse situations than this. This is different. How? Because I don't want to leave. The words came out like a confession, like something torn from deep inside. That's what you don't understand, Wes. I don't want to fight anymore. I want to go deeper. I want to see what's down there. I want to know what it is. And that wanting is stronger than anything I've ever felt. Stronger than self-preservation. Stronger than friendship. Stronger than everything. She was crying now, hard, her whole body shaking. It's eating me from the inside and replacing me with hunger, and I can't stop it, and I'm so tired. Wes, I'm so tired of fighting. I pulled her close, held her while she sobbed. I know. I feel it too. But we can fight it together. Both of us. We got this far, didn't we? Did we? Or did it just let us think we were escaping so we'd come back? So we'd bring ourselves to it willingly? I didn't have an answer to that. Because she might be right. From the deeper passage that cracked that led down, I heard movement. Footsteps. Many footsteps. Coming closer. "They're coming," Cam whispered. "The empty ones. The things it already consumed. They'll take us down. Down to the pit. Down to where it waits. Then we run. Now." I hauled her to her feet. She swayed, nearly fell, but I caught her, wrapped her arm around my shoulders. "Move your feet, one step at a time. You can do this." She took a step, then another. We stumbled toward the tunnel. Behind us, things emerged from the deeper passage. I didn't look back, didn't want to see, just focused on moving forward, on getting Cam to the exit. The tunnel, crawling with Cam barely conscious, her weight on my back, scraping through, inch by inch. The footsteps behind us, patient, unhurried. They knew we couldn't escape. Not really. But we kept moving. Out of the tunnel, into the main passage, following the route back, orange arrows still on the walls, mocking us with their promise of escape. Cam's breathing was ragged. "Wes, stop. We're almost there." "No, listen to me." She grabbed my jacket, forced me to look at her. "You need to leave me. Go, while you still can." "Not happening. I'm slowing you down. It's going to catch both of us. But if you leave me..." I said no. "Wes." "No." The word echoed through the cave. "I'm not leaving you. I'm not losing anyone else. Not you. Not to this thing. So either we both get out, or we both die here. That's the only choice." She stared at me. Then something shifted in her eyes. Something like hope, or maybe just desperate gratitude. Okay, let's get out of here." We moved faster. Cam pushed through the exhaustion, through the pull. We half ran, half stumbled through the passages. The cathedral chamber, the tight squeeze, the final stretch. And there, ahead, that gray glow, dawn light. We'd been down here all night. We burst out of the cave into early morning, into air that tasted like freedom. We didn't stop running until we reached the vehicles, threw ourselves inside. I started the engine with shaking hands. As I turned the truck around, I looked back one last time. The cave entrance was empty. Nothing emerged. Nothing followed. But I knew it was there, watching, waiting. It didn't need to chase us anymore. We'd be back. Epilogue, 6 months later. I'm writing this from a motel in New Mexico. Different state, different cave systems, different dig. But it's the same thing all over again. Cam's in the next room. She's doing better. Some days are worse than others, but she's fighting. We both are. Some days the pool is almost manageable, almost quiet. Other days, it's all we can do not to get in the car and drive back to Virginia. We don't talk about what happened. Don't talk about Silas or Bree. Don't talk about the thing in the cave or the pit or the empty faces. We just work, dig after dig, research after research, staying busy, staying distracted, staying away from Bedford County. I still have Dad's journal. I know I should burn it. Cam asks me to burn it at least once a week, but I can't. It's all I have left of him, even if it's poisoned. Even if keeping it means the thing in the cave still has hooks in me. I read it sometimes, late at night when I can't sleep, looking for answers, for some way to break the connection, to cut the line. But deep down, I know there isn't one. Dad was right about everything. It feeds on obsession, on the need to know, and I'm an archaeologist. My entire career is built on needing to know, on solving mysteries, on digging up things that should stay buried. I'm perfect prey. We both are. Sometimes I dream about the pit, about Dad standing at the edge, beckoning, about all those empty faces, about the thing at the bottom that's older than names. And sometimes, in those dreams, I walk forward. I look down into the darkness, and I see. But I always wake up before I see it, before I understand. Maybe that's mercy. Maybe that's the thing playing with me, showing me just enough to keep me hooked, to keep me coming back. I don't know. All I know is that one day, maybe tomorrow, maybe 10 years from now, I'll stop fighting. The pull will be too strong. The hunger will be too loud. And I'll drive back to Virginia, back to Bedford County, back to that cave. I'll crawl through the tunnel, into the chamber, through the deeper passage, down and down and down, to the pit where the thing waits, to where Dad waits, to where everyone eventually goes. And when I get there, I'll finally understand. I'll finally know what's at the bottom, what it is, what it wants, what it's been doing down there in the dark for thousands of years. And then I'll be empty too, just another face in the crowd, just another recruiter, just another extension of the hunger. But at least the fighting will be over. At least I'll finally have peace. That's the lie I tell myself, anyway. The truth is simpler. The truth is that I'm terrified. Terrified that one morning I'll wake up and Cam will be gone, or I'll wake up and I'll be on the road, driving east, with no memory of getting in the car. Terrified that the thing in the cave knows exactly how long each of us can fight, knows exactly when we'll break. Terrified that it's right, that everyone goes back eventually, that the treasure was never meant to be found. It was meant to find us. Dr. Weston Jennings. The Excavation Logs, Episode 1. The Beale Cache. The Beale Ciphers are a real unsolved mystery in American history. In the 1820s, a man named Thomas J. Beale allegedly buried a treasure worth millions in Bedford County, Virginia. He left 3 coded messages describing the location and contents of the treasure. Only one cipher has ever been decoded. The other 2 remain unsolved to this day. Hundreds of people have spent their lives and fortunes trying to crack the code. Some historians believe the whole thing is an elaborate hoax. Others are convinced the treasure exists and continue searching. What they don't talk about is how many treasure hunters have gone missing in Bedford County over the years, how many people have disappeared into the cave systems beneath the Appalachian Mountains, how many obsessed researchers have died alone, broke, chasing a mystery that consumed them. The locals know better than to speak of certain caves. They understand something about the old places carved into the mountains before this country had a name. They know some passages were made by things that weren't human, things that remember when humans were prey. They teach their children which hills to avoid, which ridges never to climb alone, which cave entrances to walk past without looking too close. Because in Appalachia, the mountains are old, older than the trees, older than the soil, and some things in those mountains are older still. Things that learned thousands of years ago that humans have one weakness above all others: curiosity. The need to know, to understand, to solve, to find. And if you can make them think there's treasure waiting at the end of their search, if you can dangle the promise of gold and glory and answers to ancient mysteries, well, then they'll walk right into the dark on their own. They'll bring their friends, their students, their families, and they'll never walk back out. The Beale ciphers might be real, the treasure might exist, but the people who went looking for it learned the hard way that some mysteries are meant to stay unsolved. Some doors are meant to stay closed. And some hunger has been waiting in the dark since before humans learned to make fire. If you ever find yourself in Bedford County, near the mountains, and you see a cave entrance with strange symbols carved above it, keep walking. Don't stop to photograph it. Don't try to decode what the symbols mean. Don't wonder what's inside. Just keep walking. Because whatever's down there already knows you're curious. And it's very, very patient. Well, boys and ghouls, that wraps up another terrorific tale from the vault. Aw, poor Weston. Thought he'd finish Daddy's work. Thought he'd crack the code and find the treasure and finally prove he was smarter than the old man. But some mysteries aren't meant to be solved, kiddies. Some ciphers are bait. And Daddy Daddy knew that too late, just like his boy. And now Weston's got his father's journal, 2 dead friends, 1 missing, and a voice in his head that sounds just like the man who started it all. The treasure was never gold. It was them. Always was. Always will be. And one day, maybe tomorrow, maybe next year, Weston will stop fighting. He'll get in that car, he'll drive back to Virginia, and he'll walk down into the dark where the hungry thing waits, just how we love it. If this story crawled under your skin the right way, hit that subscribe button. New creature features drop every day at 8 p.m. Central, and trust me, tomorrow's even nastier. Leave a like if you'd burn that journal and run like hell, and drop a comment. Where are you watching from? Have you ever felt the pull of a mystery that wouldn't let go? Ever started researching something and couldn't stop? Ever felt like something was calling you back to a place you shouldn't go? I'm always hunting for the next nightmare. Remember, some treasures aren't meant to be found. They're meant to find you. Until next time, kiddies, keep your fires burning and your journals closed. This has been your late night creature feature. I'm Mr. Wendigo, and the caves are always waiting.